so funny. You can't laugh while you're recording.
Sorry.
Hey guys, Lindsay from Chickens and Roots. Hope everyone's having a good day today. I'm going to try my best to talk over the cicadas. I have a mic, but it doesn't fit my phone, so I've got to get a new mic. My first one broke, so I'm going to just try to talk as loud as I can. I figured I would do my first ever, I'm gonna do my first ever garden tour. So I've got stuff growing everywhere, so it's gonna be all over the place. Okay, so we're gonna start with my barrels. I have a blueberry bush. I've got another one too. I don't know anything about blueberries. I just bought this year. So I don't know when I'll get blueberries yet. I haven't really done a whole lot of research. And then these are some flowers. I don't remember what seeds I planted, but I planted some. Here's some chamomile that I planted from seed in the fall. It's doing really good. Here's some over here too. And then these are my leftover starts of tomatoes and peppers. And then some parsley that I've got left over. Then I have a black raspberry bush. I got this from an Amish community, and I haven't planted it anywhere yet because I did not know this. The black raspberries can give the other raspberries disease. So they have to be planted at least 100 feet from any other raspberries. So I have not figured out where to plant this yet. These are just flowers. Here's some more. Oh, that one's doing really good. Get a close-up of that chamomile. Nice. These are my peppers. I have restarted. I started them a couple of weeks ago because I lost my others. I'm just going to wait. I think I put them in the ground too soon because they were just babies when I put them in the ground. So I think I'm just going to let these wait a little bit longer till they get bigger. And then now we're going to go down here. I guess I'll start with my green stalks. I have 2 green stalks. This one has mostly lettuces, which I've been harvesting off of them. These are not doing that good for some reason. I'm not sure what's going on with my crimson ones, but these are doing really good. And then I've got some herbs here and there. It's actually not fully filled. And then I've got some pineapple sage. It smells so good. Ah, pineapple sage. Get you some. And then this is actually one of my daughter's raised beds. She likes to plant carrots in hers. And I think that is some amaranth she wanted to plant. And then these are volunteer seeds. They're moss rose. They're a type of purslane. They're coming up everywhere. And then this is just an extra lettuce I planted in here. And then this is my second green stalk. I've mostly got strawberries in this one. I've got a few carrots here and there that I planted in the fall. Or in the winter. I planted in the winter. They're not doing too bad. Oh,
We've eaten a bunch of them.
Yeah, we've been harvesting strawberries. My kids, that's the first thing they do is come out here and check the strawberries to see if any's ready. And there was a ripe one on here, but one of them must have gotten it. This is some foxglove that I planted last spring. And it comes back, so yeah, it's got blooms on it this year. And then now I'll show you my raised beds. I've got 2 on each side. This one has some potatoes in it on this side, and this is my garlic. And I don't think it's ready to harvest yet. I think it's getting close to harvest time, but I think it still needs a little bit more time. So I'm just kind of waiting for it to fall over. I've never planted garlic before that's been this successful, because I didn't realize you were supposed to plant it in the fall. So this is new to me when I harvest it. So if any of y'all know if it needs to be harvested yet or not, please let me know. I've got these little bulbs right here in some of these. And the bottom leaves are dried up, some of them. And some of them have started falling over. So I think it's close, but I'm not sure how close. I just really hope that I don't harvest them too late. But for the most part, not too bad. They're doing good. And then this is some lemon balm. That's just sitting out here. It's doing a lot better, actually. We bought that from the Amish too, and I just repotted it. And then we have some carrots in this one. I think that might be a weed. But here's some carrots. And then this is onions. He seemed to be doing pretty good. Come over here. This is my main potato beds. That was just overflow over there. These are the yellow potatoes, I believe. Yukon, maybe. And then these are purple potatoes. They seem to be doing pretty good. I don't know what this is, but something has sprouted in here. Show you this whole bed. This is mainly flowers, but this is my other blueberry bush. I planted one over here. And then this is my asparagus. Not sure what happened here, but apparently that got chopped down. Look, I got some asparagus. I've actually harvested a couple asparagus this year, so maybe next year I'll have more. Okay, now we're gonna go to the in-ground garden. Wait, I gotta show you my volunteer garden first. This is all pumpkins, I'm pretty sure. And then I've got volunteer tomatoes. You wanna go in there and
You got a big sage.
Oh yeah, this is my sage. Oh, it's got a bloom.
Yeah.
Well, hang on, let me talk about the sage. This sage plant, I believe it's 2 years old. And it comes back every year. I don't do much anything to it. And it's doing really good. It's got a little bloom on it. That's cool. And then here is, look at all these volunteer tomatoes. These are volunteers. And then there's one hiding over here. And then the rest is pumpkins. Have you ever seen this many pumpkins? This is the most success I've had with pumpkins. But these are all volunteer. We throw our leftovers in the chicken yard and stuff just pops up. Like every year it's a surprise. I always have different things. Like last year, a bunch of the moss rose popped up in here. But this year, it's pumpkins.
And sunflowers.
And what?
Sunflowers.
Oh yeah, and some sunflowers. I forgot about that.
Quite a few sunflowers.
Yeah, pretty cool. So we'll see. If anything, we'll just carve them, decorate with them, and feed them to the chickens. This is a grapevine. I don't, we may get some grapes off these this year. I'm not sure. I think it's in its third year, possibly fourth. And we haven't gotten blooms on it yet. So I'm hoping this year it'll pop up. Or I'm hoping this year it'll have some blooms on it. Okay. Get a picture of the big, this is my gate that I made. All this right here is wire that I've dug up out of the garden. So I repurposed it. And this is just an old cow panel that we had sitting around. It now is my gate that opens and closes. So, welcome to the in-ground garden. This is here I'm hoping to get like spook animals. Normally I have it in the middle, and I have this little light too that I have usually in the middle, but I've been in here and I hit my head on it every time I'm coming in and out of here, so they're to the side for now. But this is, how many is it? This is, this is 3 16-foot cow panel by, I think 16 foot by 4 feet cow panel. And we've just used some T-posts and some zip ties to turn it into a trellis. Last year was the first year that I had a trellis arch in my garden. And I planted melons on one side and pumpkins on the other. The melons didn't do a whole lot, but I think the pumpkins like took over. Like they grew a lot faster, and I made the mistake of planting them in front of, I made the mistake of planting the melons on this side to the north and planting the pumpkins on the south side. And so the sun comes this way, but I had the trellis turned the other way, and I think that the pumpkins just got sun, like they just came up a lot faster and they blocked the melons from getting any sun. No, wait. Oh yeah, okay, I had it this way in that corner of the garden. So this year, I have moved it to the front of my garden, and I've planted the melons on this side and the pumpkins on this side. And it's going to be, last year was the first year I had success with pumpkins, and they covered the trellis pretty good. Like, they done really well. So I'm hoping that the melons will cover this side and the pumpkins will cover this side. And I actually made, out of the pumpkins that I harvested from this, I made some canned pumpkin, and I turned it into pumpkin pie last year. Okay, I also have just planted some peas. These are pretty much done, or they're getting there. They haven't done a whole lot for us because it gets really hot here quick. So I planted them. I started them in like February, and I planted them in here, but I don't know, it's just been hot. But as you can see, my pumpkins are coming up. Or is that a pea? No. They're coming up. Here's a pumpkin coming up. And then, see all the pumpkins? Pumpkins, like the pumpkin vines, like grow really fast. So, over here, see my melons? See how much smaller these are? So, that's what I'm thinking, that hopefully, now that I have them on this side, the pumpkins aren't going to block the sun. Well, it comes from here. But we will see. Okay. So let's start down here. This is string beans. As you can see, they're all popping up. Alright, they're doing pretty good. Most of them have popped up. There's still some that haven't here and there, but like you can see some spots where they didn't. Actually, right here, I might have to replant some. Oh, there's the one. I feel like green beans are really easy and they're very prolific. Last year was the first year I had planted green beans. I've got the bush type beans and I got so many green beans last year. I canned plenty. So hopefully that'll happen again this year and I can can a lot more because my family loves green beans. Okay, let's see. Next. Okay. Not much happening here because it's died off or something's ate it one. It's broccoli. This is my row of broccoli. Look, there's more wire fence. I'll add it to my collection. I don't know if you see, but my broccoli's getting eat up by something right now. So I'm going to keep an eye on that, especially this one. Let's eat this one up really bad. But I've got some healthier plants down this way. There's something still eating them, but I mean, they're a lot healthier looking. Not really anything eating that one. So my broccoli, something's eating the leaves, but I'm just gonna keep an eye on it. I may put some neem oil on them. I'm just gonna watch them because they might be all right if the leaves just get eat on them, if they don't get too eat up. Oh, and I've got these all over my garden. Volunteer zinnia. I have them everywhere. Look, oh yeah, here's one.
One's got a bloom on it.
Look, once you plant zinnia, you can't get rid of them. They reseed every year. It never fails. And sunflowers do. So, I just let them grow, and I try not to weed them down when I'm in here messing around. This row right here doesn't really have much on it. It's starting to come up. But this is squash, I believe. I haven't had a whole lot of luck. I haven't had a whole lot of luck with squash the last couple of years. It just doesn't do well for some reason. I don't know if maybe my seeds just are old, which is a possibility. But I haven't had a whole lot of luck with them, so we'll just see. We don't really eat a whole lot of squash anyway, so I don't guess it's really a big deal. And then I've got a zucchini right here. My zucchinis usually do good, but that's, oh, look, there's another zucchini. Okay, my zucchini's starting to come up. Don't see any more. Usually zucchini I don't have any issues with. And I also planted some basil, which I've just planted it in seeds. But I planted some basil like at the end, and I planted some in the middle, kind of around my tomatoes and peppers, because basil's supposed to be, I think it gives them more flavor and it helps. They're like companion planting. This whole row right here, this is where my peppers are going. So when I get a little bit bigger, I will replant this whole row of peppers. Now this is my tomato plant. I've got a whole row of them, if you can see, all the way down. They're doing really good. And then this is my, I guess, my goal for this year is to can tomatoes. I want to can sauces. I want to can um, diced tomatoes. I want to can rotel. I want to make pasta sauce, marinara, maybe some barbecue sauce. So that's why I have this whole row for just for tomatoes, because that is my goal this year. That's one of my big things that I want to do. Because I really didn't get a whole lot of tomatoes last year, so I didn't get to can a whole lot. So I want to really venture into canning all the tomatoes. These trellises, they're the same thing as what we had in that ark, but we've just got them standing straight, like standing up on their sides. They're the 16 by 4 foot cow panel, zip tied with T-post. I have not, well, and as you can see, I don't know if you can tell, but there's about a foot from the bottom of the trellis to the ground. That is because tomatoes need to have airflow, good airflow. So when they start getting tall enough, let's get this again. When they start getting tall enough, I'm going to start attaching them to this, and I'll cut all the, if I can stay on top of it, I'm going to try to cut the bottom leaves to keep this kind of where air can flow through good. I'm going to try that. Tomato cages, the ones I used, did not work. Not for indeterminate tomatoes. Maybe even my determinate tomatoes, they were like falling over the cages and bending them and breaking them. I mean, you might be able to find some bigger ones, but the ones that I had, what would you call them? Were they like sphere shaped?
Yeah, they were kind of cylindrical.
Like, they were terrible for my tomatoes. I'll show them to you because I got some down here, what not to use. So we're going to give this a shot, this trellis, this kind, and see how well it does. All my tomatoes, for the most part, they're doing pretty good. As you can see. Oh, this is a volunteer nasturtium. Oh, more volunteer zinnia. This is one of my volunteer tomatoes that I found in my compost pile that I decided to plant over here because that tomato didn't make it. It's doing really good. Okay. Right here, you'll probably see throughout the garden I have marigolds. You'll see marigolds like scattered in the garden. Those are supposed to be good to keep pests away and insects, because a lot of pests and insects don't like the smell of them. So that's why I scatter them all around here. This row is going to be dry beans, pinto beans, and kidney beans. I just planted these today. So that'd be awesome if I can can all my beans too to put in my soups. Now, this row there's not really anything planted in this row except for these are, I think, dahlias. I may plant some more beans. I may plant more beans in here. I don't know. This is just kind of my throw whatever in row, I guess. And then these 3 rows, these are all okra. And it's coming up down here. Got quite a bit. Here's one. So, okra, when you pick it, it is itchy. super itchy. It's very annoying. But okra loves the heat. So when it gets really, really hot, okra just takes off. My okra plants, I think, were like this tall last year, and I just had to quit picking them because I couldn't reach them. So, what's next?
Got a bunch of volunteer you got a bunch of small sunflowers over there.
Okay, these 2 rows are my corn. You see, my corn's coming up. This row is corn also, but it's just starting to come up. I'm hoping this year I'll have better luck with corn. Last year I didn't have much luck with corn. The wind kept blowing it over, and it was just a mess. So we didn't get a whole lot of corn last year, which I'm still not. I feel like it's being really sporadic. So it's not all coming up, so I may have to replant it. Oh, all these? You see all these pop-ups everywhere? Volunteer zinnia. That's all zinnia that I didn't plant. Now this is where all the zinnia is. This is my compost pile that I had in last year's corner of my bed. It's just a place that's sunken in, so I just put all my scraps there. But you see all the volunteer zinnia. I'm sure you can tell now. Here's some more marigolds. There's some, and I think there's some cosmos. Yep, there's a cosmo right here. I think I planted cosmos and sunflowers around here. Oh look, our friend, the lovely cicada. Now it's not gonna. Welcome to the garden, cicada.
There's like 1,000 of them everywhere.
And they're loud if you can't tell, if you can't hear them. They've actually quieted down quite a bit since earlier today. Earlier today, they were ringing my ears. I had to wear earplugs because they were affecting my hearing.
This one's not gonna leave now.
Huh?
I said this one's not gonna leave now.
Okay, back to the garden. Okay, so pretty much, oh, here's a volunteer sunflower. I love sunflowers. Look how big. These came up, well, there's a ton of them in that corner. See them tall ones in that corner? Those are all volunteer sunflowers. So, basically, these last two rows, they're all flowers. Because you have to have flowers because pollinators love them. You bring the pollinators. I have hummingbirds that get on my flowers. Regular birds love the sunflowers. I've had even moths over here. What was it called? A clear. It's pretty cool to see all the pollinators. Tons of bees. They love it. And you also can pick flowers to put in your vase in the house. I love picking cut flowers. It's my favorite. But that's not the only reason I grow them. It's for the pollinators too. They're good for the garden.
5%.
Huh?
Your phone's at 5%.
Oh goodness, we gotta hurry. My phone's about to die, so I'm gonna wrap it up. So yeah, all these are, this is some zinnia, I think. Those are zinnia. These are some more Cosmo. These Cosmo are doing really good. These are all sunflowers. I'm gonna take you to one more spot that I have food from. Oh wait, let me, on the RD to the next spot. These are the tomato cages. Do not use these tomato cages.
They're all bent from the tomatoes.
They're terrible. They do not work. The tomatoes get too heavy. They just don't. They fall over. They didn't work for mine anyway. So, don't do it. Okay, last spot is Now this is a little messy over here. I didn't weed this, which I've got some bulbs I planted in here. What are those bulbs called? Gladiolas? Gladiolas is what I planted. This right here is raspberries. I bought this plant and this, I bought both of these plants on clearance at Lowe's last year, at our local Lowe's. They were on clearance. I was like, what the heck, let's try it. Because I haven't had any luck with the bare root plants. Well, this year, one of them is coming back. So, got some raspberries. I don't know if I'll get raspberries this year, but it's a start. Okay, so that concludes my garden, my first ever garden tour. This is a few days later. My phone died, so I didn't really get to end the video. So I'm going to end it with an update on my green stock and some encouragement to plant a garden. So when we showed the green stalks the other day, I told you that they weren't full. They weren't quite full. So I went and bought some herbs to add into them that didn't seed for me. So I got some parsley, some thyme, some cilantro, and a couple of different oreganos, and some dill. But I just thought I would let you know that I have filled my empty spots now. So there you go. Oh, and look, I didn't notice this. I've got some nasturtium seeds coming up that I planted. Oh, there's another one. But I just want to let you know that. And I also just wanted to end with this. As you can see, I don't have the prettiest, fanciest garden. I mean, I had a few raised beds, and some green stalks. But my in-ground garden, it is nothing special about it. It's just a plot of dirt that's tilled up in a fence, not completely weeded. I just want to encourage you that you don't have to have fancy raised beds or a perfect tilled garden to grow stuff. Stuff wants to grow. It loves to grow. Now, obviously, you're going to get more abundance if you care for the plant and care for your garden. But as you can see, I mean, I still had some weeds here and there. It's a big garden that I have to tend to. For me, anyway, it is. So, I just get out here when I can, and I till as much as I can and just keep up with it to the best of my ability and grow food and enjoy it. Now, towards the end of the season, it gets pretty wild. At that point, it's hard to keep up with the weeds. But, like I was saying, I mean, I just want to encourage you. Just plant some seeds or buy you some starts. Start somewhere. You don't have to have this just glorious garden or this special space. I mean, God made it that way. He made the dirt. So the dirt, you put seeds in it and seeds produce. That's what it's meant to do. So don't feel like you have to spend tons of money to have the perfect trellis or the perfect raised beds I mean, all I started with was a plot of dirt and I just planted stuff. And and obviously I've kind of upgraded a little bit. All in all, I mean, just do what you can with what you got and enjoy it. That's all that matters. I hope you all have a great Memorial Day. It's coming up next weekend. And I'll see you next time on Chickens and Roots. See you later. Bye.